How's everybody doing today? This is VR for Don's Field of Dreams. Some sentimental items I have in my collection, and I think most of my collection, my permanent collection, is based around sentimental ties, whether it be family or friends or certain things that have happened in my life. Um, but this, I'll just cover some of the quick ones that have to do with family. My mom, for instance, was a played basketball in high school and went on to coach basketball. In, and She was a big Larry Bird fan and later on Tim Duncan fan. But she did keep some Larry Bird cards in her collection. And I know when she went to Terre Haute, Indiana on a trip, she was passing through and she got out of the car and she yells, "Larry, I'm here." So that was a pretty funny story about her. But this is one of her Larry Bird cards. She's a big Indiana State fan the year that they were big in college basketball. And this back of the card shows the Sports Illustrated cover. And my dad also had a collection of exhibit cards from when he was young. I think he was a big Brooklyn Dodger fan, but he didn't have a Jackie Robinson. He did have a Mickey Mantle, though, and this is his original Mickey Mantle. And he had about 50 cards that he left me. And since then, I've been working on getting as many of these cards in the set that I can. I think it's going to be around 400 different cards. So I'm foolish enough to try and get all the variations and made in USA, printed in USA, all that other stuff. So that's what I've been working on lately. That's my um, sentimental card set. And the third person I'll talk about is my younger brother. He left us too soon. He was 35 when he passed away, but we went to all these big sporting events together. And we went to boxing matches. Here's Virgil Hill. We both grew up in North Dakota, and Virgil Hill was a big North Dakota name at the time. This is one of the matches we went to in the Fargo Dome. Went to hockey games, North Stars. This is one where we went to the Winnipeg Jets up in Winnipeg. Got to visit the Winnipeg Arena of the original Jets. They have a new home downtown for the new Jets, but that was a fun time. One funny moment was Burton Cummings of the Guess Who sang the national anthem for Canada and the U.S. And we went back into the concourse to get some refreshments, and there's Burton Cummings in line with us to get hot dogs. So that was kind of funny. We went to baseball games. Here's County Stadium, 1979. Watched the Yankees play the Brewers. And we went to several Winnipeg Blue Bomber Canadian Football League games. 1991, we went to the Grey Cup, and Toronto was in it, and they had Wayne Gretzky and his wife Janet, John Candy, Bruce McNall were all standing on the sidelines. Wayne Gretzky's wife was standing by the space heater because it was 0 degrees Fahrenheit that day. And if you look at any videos of Rocket Ishmael returning a punt for a touchdown, you'll see a beer can landing by his feet around the 10-yard line. And it wasn't us that threw it. It was just one of the things we remember about the game. And we were able to go out down on the field after the game, and players running by us, fans running by us, trying to attempt to tear down the goalposts. There's fights, there was friendship and fighting, and you could see in the dugout where Toronto was being awarded the Stanley Cup. And another event we went to was Final Four. I know we didn't have tickets ahead of time, so we walked around. My brother is like 6'5", and he's walking around with two fingers up in the air because we wanted 2 tickets. And some guy asked him if he was a scalper, and he goes, "How can I be a scalper? I'm from North Dakota." But we went and watched Duke beat Michigan that night. And I do have 4 baseball cards from his collection. These are the 4 cards he had in screw down holders. 1984 Donruss Nolan Ryan. 1994 Topps Joe Montana. 1994 Dan Marino rookie card. And one of his favorite players was Shaquille O'Neal. And he liked LSU because they were coached at the time by another North Dakota native, Dale Brown. And an interesting tie in there, Dale Brown, in the 1952 North Dakota State basketball tournament, Dale Brown was a player. Grand Forks Central had a player named Lute Olson, the former coach of Arizona. Fargo Shanley had a guy named Roger Maris, and Wahpeton had a player named Steve Myra, who ended up kicking the field goal in the 1959 game of the century to take the game into overtime, which the Colts eventually won. So that's my sentimental VR for Don, and I've watched Don for a while. I just started creating content recently, and appreciate everybody that watched, and thank you very much.